left alone. Like, period. I commend social media for bringing forth the Me Too movement and bringing forth the gay rights movement and all that stuff because it caused reform. But it's like, all right, you guys, you know, our LGBTQ rights are now on track. Let's tone it. Let's tone it down, because it's like now the more and more and more we're talking about, oh, if this person gets elected, our LGBTQ rights are gone. I feel like if people weren't so focused on that, if that wasn't the first thing to come up, I'm not sure if that would have been, I'm not going to say an issue, because people have their motives. People have their motives no matter what. But I don't know. With this whole idea of social media being a motivator of people getting elected and ideas getting out there, I often wonder if we were to kind of leave it alone, if it would have still came to the surface. Because I'm not sure.
Well, oh man, preach, Ambezi. Preach. You certainly raised some great points tonight, you and Thinbad. And as always, you bring different perspectives to this. And I think we all can agree that this is a topic that's not going away, that the celebrity element is going to continue to cause discussions from a human perspective and just sometimes from a purely selfish perspective. But that's the world in which we live in. But Kanye West, you know, he has been and will be a musical force for years to come. I think we can all agree with that. Wouldn't you guys agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And no one can argue that. However, as I told you, Ambezi, and I told you, Thinbad, it gives me great concern that he does not and did not have a grasp on one of the most painful and violent chapters of African American history, period. Countless books, articles, documentaries, and movies have been produced throughout the years that feature the brutality that the slaves faced from capture, the Middle Passage voyage, and their eventual bondage in America. And the brutality didn't end after the Emancipation Proclamation. It continued after the Emancipation Proclamation. And of course, as we all know and our relatives know, it blossomed into the Jim Crow culture. Thousands were killed, raped, tortured, hung, and brutalized for decades. And it's Yeez or Kanye or whoever he is this week, it's his absolute right to express his opinion about slavery, the 13th Amendment, the 4th Amendment, the 5th Amendment, whatever amendment he wants to talk about. But it's also our right to give him our opinion. Slavery, Kanye, if you're listening, who knows if you're listening, if your family's listening, if your friends are listening, listen to what I'm saying to you. Slavery wasn't glamorous. It wasn't easy. It wasn't sexy. It was a damn abomination for which we must never, ever forget. Ever. Millions of our ancestors are laying in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean because they couldn't survive that journey. Hundreds and thousands of our ancestors were hung from trees. Millions of our ancestors developed skin cancer and bone cancer and all kinds of things from working in the hot sun and being beaten and tortured because they had the audacity to be tired. They had the audacity to have skin that was cut to the bone picking cotton. So if you're going to talk about it, brother, understand the pain, understand the reality, and understand the hurt that peculiar institution, as it was called, created for the African American community. So now let me get down off my soapbox. That's all we have this week. But I want to thank you, Ambeezy.
Oh, yes. No problem.
And
You know.
she's there. I think. There she is. I want to thank you, as always, Thin Bad.
Yes. Thanks. Good to be here.
And thank you for sitting in for Pastor C. And as always, Amber, take us out.
All right. Well, we thank you for joining us. That's all we have this week. So, as always, we thank you for allowing us to give it to you straight, no chaser.
No chaser.
Thank you for listening to Straight No Chaser